Hello and welcome to this video, which today is all about reflections and being a reflective business owner for your children's yoga business. And yes, it is a business. This is something that I actually really struggled with for quite some time. The idea of my kids' yoga thing being an actual business. And so part of being a business owner, which is what you are, unless you're doing it as completely a hobby, if you're hoping to make money from it, then it definitely is a business. One thing that I really struggled with was even calling it that and even looking at money and stuff like that. And so today I want to talk about a really useful tool that I use for reflecting on my business. Now, I'm sure as a yoga teacher, and you may well teach other things too, I'm sure you're already a reflective practitioner. And what I mean by that is, I'm sure you already look back at your plans or teach a lesson and think, this went really well, this didn't go so well, what they already know is this, and what I'm going to plan to do in the future is this. And if you don't already do that, then you may want to check out my planning videos. But being reflective in your business is important too. So looking at what's going well for you, and also what you can improve and what you can work on. And so I wanted to talk about this now because I believe that now is a really, really good time to do some reflective practice within your business. And the reason why I think it's so good right now is that firstly, it's a new financial year now. And so you may well have done your kind of looking at your stuff for your taxes from last financial year, unless you're a kind of lastminute.com and you leave it all till January. But if you do like your month by month accounts and you're kind of reviewing your year and you're coming into the new financial year, it's a good time because you may already have like your finances. You may be looking at it thinking, shit, is that how much I earn? Or you may be thinking, oh, anyway, you may have some numbers to look at because it's the end of a financial year. So that's one reason. Another reason why now is a good time is that it's spring now. And so spring is a really good time for planting those seeds of intention and thinking about what it is that you want to grow later on in your business. And so now is a really good time to reflect on what's gone before, for you to think about what's worth investing that time in, or maybe investing money in, or maybe investing energy in. And so the spring energy is a really powerful time for you to be reflecting and forward planning. Also, it's now the summer term in schools. So if some of your work is within schools or you plan for it to be, then now's a really, really good time for you to review, okay, what's working in schools? What do I want to be doing next academic year? What do I not want to be doing next academic year? All of those kind of things, because schools tend to be from now onwards forward planning and thinking about September. And I know it seems like quite a long way away. And it's not really in terms of plannings in schools. And when I was a senior leader in a school, the summer term would be when we would be plotting in for our next academic year. So if you're wanting to make plans to do stuff in schools, now's the time you need to be thinking ahead and thinking, okay, what is it I want to do? And then, reaching out to schools and doing that kind of stuff, if that's your bag. This whole video isn't about schools though, so there's still something for you if that's not your realm. So I wanted to share with you a really useful tool, a really useful reflective tool that I have not created. This is not my own. I've created what it looks like, the way that it is, but I haven't created the process or the table itself. It was shared with me by my business mentor, Dawn Wright. So thank you to Dawn. And I wanted to share it with you because this is something that I find really useful in my own business. And I know from working with other kids yoga teachers who have been on a mentor program with me, that they found this useful too. So I thought I would share it with you. And so I'm going to share my screen now, and hopefully you will be able to see it. La 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 la. I'll just talk amongst yourselves while I share the screen. Share that screen, please. That's the one I want. Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully you are seeing this screen, my really useful reflections. Okay, so this, as I've just said, was shared with me by Dawn. So I don't know whether Dawn created it or whether she learnt it from somewhere else, but quite often we're curators, aren't we? And we draw things from lots of different areas. So this is available for a freebie for you, so you can download this, and actually it's probably going to be quite useful for you to download it and save it and have it, because I'll talk through it now, but you may not be in the place for it now, and so having it on your computer so you can return to again and again may be useful to you. I'll pop that link for the download in the description. So the first thing is you've got this table, and you've got four columns. I always get confused between rows and columns. We have 4 columns, and in the first column you write your service or your class. And so in this column here, the first column, I would recommend separating it into every single different one that you do. So you may do, for example, parent and baby classes. I would separate it out into each venue, because you may have different feelings about different venues. So for example, you may do 2 different parent baby classes, 2 different after school classes. You may do adults yoga. You may do adult one-to-one. You may do, all of your different things and all of the different venues, writing down in this column here. And then not thinking too much about this at all, just kind of gut reaction straight into it. The second column, you're going to give a rate out of 10 to how much you love this class. So really don't be like, oh, but the people are really nice. Just how much do you love it? Give it a rate out of 10 and trust that number. And then this next one, financially, how does this class perform? So you may need to do a little bit of background before doing this, really, in thinking about how much do you earn from this class, and that means including all of your expenses too. Don't forget those. So like your journey time and all of that stuff. So you may have a class that is you earn a lot from it, but you also find yourself buying a lot of extra resources for it that you don't reuse, or you drive quite far for it, so it takes double the amount of time, and also you've got fuel costs as well and all of those kind of things. So how much financially does this particular service serve you? And then the next, rate it out of 10, and then the next column where the tick is, that is how easeful. So it could be how easy is it, but it could, for me, this is not necessarily about how easy is it, because for me, sometimes if something's easy, I find it a bit boring. But that's maybe my neuro spiciness coming through. But how easeful is the class for you? Does it feel like you stress about it a lot? Do you think about it a lot? Is it something that you have to really work for to do, or does it feel like like a flow? And rate that out of 10. So you do that for every single of your services, and it could be that you just, if you've got a lot of different services, that you just focus on one at a time, and just really focus on one. Or it could be that you do them all in one big blast, totally up to you. And so the next thing, this is an example of what it might look like. You've got them all. And so these are just made up, but this is an example of what it might look like. Here's my parent and baby class in Asti, and this is my parent baby class in a different venue in Coney. This is an after school club at Farm Hill, and a lunchtime class at Holt End. So they're the type of class and also the venue. And I've graded each one out of 10. Again, not thinking about it too much. So the next thing, highlight any that are below 5, because these are big issues and they need addressing now. So for example, parent and baby class in Coney, you may only give that a 3 out of 10. You really do not love this class. So there's something about that class that you are just not loving. Yeah, just circle it in red for now. And lunch class Holt End, it doesn't, you don't find that very easy at all. So you're only giving that 2 out of 10. So those are any that are below 5. And then the next thing that you need to do is identify issues that are issues that are below 7. Sorry, I'm really distracted because there's a van outside, and I was thinking, are they going to come and knock on my door? Sorry. So you've highlighted the ones that are below 5 in red. They're urgent, and now you're highlighting the ones that are that you've graded below 7, because there'll be issues that you want to look at soon. And then, so when you've done all of those circles, identify classes that have issues. And so for me, straight away, this parent and baby class in Coney, and also this lunchtime class at Holt End, there are issues there in more than one column, and there are serious issues. So I would be thinking, do I need to make changes to this class and continue running the class? Or do I need to say goodbye? Is it something that I want to let go of? So, for example, this parent and baby class, I don't love it. It's not bringing in much money, and it's not that easy. To be honest, I probably wouldn't even consider that. I'd just be like, this isn't working. And, I'm going to make a plan of when I'm going to make the changes, And so this one over here, this bottom one, the lunch class Holt End, that is financially doing all right. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it's doing okay, isn't it? And so that may take a little look at and think, okay, it's really not very easy, and I'm not loving it massively. So do I need to look at how I can make it easier? Do I need to think about how I can love it a little bit more? And then, so looking at the yellow ones, there's some other things that I would be looking at. So this parent and baby class in Asti, it's not bringing in loads of money, and it's not particularly easy, but I do love it. This is completely made up, by the way, but this is an example of what it might be. So I would be thinking, okay, how can I make this class more profitable? I love it. How can I make it more profitable? I might be thinking, it's a bit tricky. How can I make it simpler? How can I simplify life and make it easier for me? And then over here at the after school farm halt, it's all right, but I'm not loving it. How can I make it more enjoyable for me? Because it's definitely worth it in terms of ease and in terms of money. So how can I make it more enjoyable? So that's the process that you would be going through. And on the downloadable that you can get, you can print out a version of this one here, the empty one. And then it guides you through, and you can do the process yourself. So here's the blank one, you're adding in your services, you're grading which ones are below 5, which ones are below 7. And then you may need to reflect on these questions. You may even have other questions that you want to ask yourself too. But the first question I'd ask is, what do I want to do now? This is your business. This is, you get to decide. You're not employed by anyone, or you might be, but not usually employed by anyone if you're running a kids yoga business. So you get to decide, what do you want to do? And stop. I think that sometimes and I definitely feel this myself too, sometimes we can feel a bit people pleasery and feel a bit like, oh yeah, but I know that moms in that class really benefit from it, and they really enjoy it, and they really get a lot from it. They probably do, but if you are not experiencing joy from it, if you are not gaining something from it, then it's not worthwhile you doing it. Someone else can do it. You could pass on someone else's information. So what do you want to do? Are there any classes or services that you want to completely stop? It's okay to let go of stuff. I think sometimes we feel like we have to keep going and going because that's what we did, or maybe we trained in a particular thing and we really thought we really wanted to make a go of it, but it's just not working. It's okay to let go of it. It's okay if you've already spent time on the training for that thing. It's all right if you've already invested time and money. It's okay to still let it go. You're all right you get to choose, you get to say, this isn't working anymore. So if you do want to stop doing it, have a plan. Okay, I realize this doesn't work for me. make a decision on when it's going to be the last class for you. So are you going to keep going for the next term, and then decide to not run any after that? Are you going to continue to go for the next 2 terms? Because you've already committed to the venue or something else. But make it clear in your diary when it is you're going to make that change and how you're going to communicate, because I don't know about you, but for me, the communication of stuff is so important. And I don't want to feel like I'm just dropping something and people are going to think bad of me. You know, it's okay to make that decision, but you do need to communicate clearly with the people who are your clients, the people who come to you. And so how are you going to communicate to them? When are you going to communicate to them? Make a plan. And then for the classes that are left, what changes do you need to make? Do you want to make them more profitable? Do you want to make them easier? Do you want to fall in love with them a bit more than you do now? What changes do you need to make? And then lastly, do you need any more support or training in something? So for example, if you're not loving your kids' yoga class, that's an after school class, but it's bringing in money, and it fits in well with everything else that you do you need more training on how to, I don't know, manage behavior? Or do you need more support on planning those classes? Or do you need to work with somebody to support you to see which changes you need to make? So if you want to get support from me, I'd love to support you. I work with people on one-to-one mentoring for longer packages, so for up to 6 months. And so if you're interested in working with me on a number of things, that can be for you. I also do a 1-hour stress less hour. And so that is for you. If you've got something that you can't seem to get through and you just need to talk it through, you just need someone to give you some ideas or problem solve. That's kind of my zone of genius. I love solving problems. I love talking through and solving situations. So if you would like a stress less hour, then get in touch. It's just £150, and what you get for that is you email. How that works is you email me and then I send you a questionnaire. You answer the questions, so we're not wasting time within that hour me getting to know your business. I do that before the hour, and then we schedule a time that works for both of us. I do have some capability to meet in the evenings if that's possible, you know, if that's preferable to you. And I also have daytimes some days of the week too. So we meet at a mutually convenient time and we talk through the issues. And then I share with you any resources that I think might be helpful. If there's things that I've already got that I think might be of use to you, I just share those with you straight away, and there's no like extra cost involved with those. And if I feel like there's something extra that I could do to support you, then I will share that with you if that's something you're interested in. So if you'd like a stress less hour, get in touch with me. Email me at julia@juliahankins.co.uk. If you feel like you need a lot more support in your business and there's a few things that you'd like support with, then get in touch about the mentoring. That's definitely something that I can help you with and I absolutely love doing. So that's today's training all about, or today's meeting, training, video, blog, whatever. That's today's all about reflection. And so you may find it helpful to download the PDF, because then you can print off the grid and you can print off the questions, or you can save it on your computer and come back to it time and time again whenever suits you, because it may not be the time for you right now, and that's okay too. If you found this video useful, please consider liking it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure that you're signed up to my mailing list. I don't spam. I just offer things that I think will be useful to you. And so once a week I share content. And so if you think that's useful, then sign up. I'll put all the links in the box below. So yeah, I hope you find that useful. I'd love to know your thoughts and whether this is a system that you've seen before. I'm really intrigued to know. Thanks very much.